What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name's Thomas. I'm with the WAF World Animal Foundation, and today I'm going to talk about the Tractive versus the Halo 3rd generation collar. Before we get started and everything today, remember to like and subscribe so I keep bringing you these reviews. I do have a Halo 2 Plus. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I will not be using that one today. It's going to be the Halo 3, just to clear up any confusion. I'm going to be comparing all the different features and the technology that each of these collars offers. The design, how well the collars work, how they fit, the fence building, GPS tracking, the subscriptions that you need with them, or if you even need a subscription. And at the very end, I'll give you my personal recommendations based on what I've done with both of these collars. And I've had both for quite some time now, so I've had a lot of time to really get in depth with both collars with my two Doberman pinchers, Aries and Athena, who you will see throughout the video as well. So with that being said, let's get started. Before we get into the real nuts and bolts of everything and take everything outside and start showing you the app and walking through all the little different features that these things do, let's just look at the collars physically. The Tractive, the fairly simple option. This right here is the Tractive in a nutshell. It's kind of big, blocky, clunky. It's got a single button on the top and an LED indicator. It sits on a regular collar. Now, it comes with a collar, but you can basically put any collar on this thing you want to because of its little mesh design in the back. It's rubber-like, and you just slide your new collar in there. So, since you can use any collar you want, you can basically fit this collar to any animal. The only thing I could see being an issue is my dogs are medium-sized dogs, and this is a bit clunky, very durable, but also very heavy. While the dog could probably walk around with it, it's gonna be front heavy and it's probably gonna look a little bit ridiculous. But outside of that, it's a very simple collar. It just snaps into place for any dog and you can adjust it according to your whim. The Halo is a little bit different. Now it's got this entire bar here. It's thick and it's dense and it's durable. Now, mine also comes, or with all Halo 3rd generations, 2nd generations, what have you, come with a cloth cover that has multiple colors. I think there's 4 or 5 different colors you can choose from. I'm a boring guy, so I went with the gray option because whatever. So I tend to take my covers off. So that's really the real reason that I don't do the whole cover thing. I take them off because it tends to slide into the way of the magnet charger here. You know, that cover will slide in front of it and it's just a heck of a time trying to get it to move to the side so I can charge it. So I just take mine off. Collar still looks great without it. Problem is, it's not going to fit a dog with anything smaller than an 11-inch neck. And the reason behind that is this bulk right here, it can only curve in so much. So if you've got a really, really small dog, it's just not going to work. In fact, Halo makes that pretty clear on their site that this is not for very small dog breeds. For dog breeds like my own, Doberman pinchers, that's fine. Halo does sell this in a medium-large option and a small option. So it's really only 2, and because of their perfect fitting tools that they send you with the collar, you can basically take this thing, size it to your dog, and then cut off your excess collar and go ahead and place yourself a brand new end cap on there just like that. Now those tools come with this collar, so it's a lot easier to size than it looks at first glance. Of course, it's not as easy to size as the Tractive because all you gotta do is adjust that collar. But like I said, it's kind of big and on the bulky side, and it's best for your medium to large breeds. You can get away with some small breeds, but the really, really tiny dogs, your little Chihuahuas, your ankle biters, it's not going to work for those. Now, what kind of subscription plans do the Halo and the Tractive collars offer? Well, Tractive is the more complicated subscription plan. They've got 2 tiers, and then they've got multiple tiers within the 2 tiers. In fact, there's 3 tiers in the first tier, and then 3 tiers in the second tier. If you're confused, so was I. When I first got the collar, I thought that I had to do the yearly right off the bat. Otherwise, I couldn't use the collar. The Tractive and the Halo are both comparable when it comes to the subscriptions because you have to have the subscriptions to use the collar. If you don't have the subscription, it's a paperweight. You might as well fling it up on your desk and hold some papers down when you turn the fan on to cool off in the afternoon. You can't use them. So with the Tractive, you've got your first tier, which includes a monthly, a 1 year, and a 2 year. The monthly is $13 a month, so you're going to pay a little bit more than your average streaming service plan, such as, Netflix. Oh, I don't know, Netflix has gotten so expensive lately. Their 1 year option, it costs $8 a month, but they bill you $96 a year. Their 2 year option costs you $6 a month, but they bill you $144 per year. Then they've got the second tier, which is all yearly. You got 1 year, 2 year, and 5 year. Now the 1 year, obviously, it bills you at a slightly higher price than the 1 year option for the previous tier. And that's because this second tier is Tractive's premium tier, whereas the first tier was their basic tier. So you get 1 year at the premium tier for $9 a month, but you'll actually be billed $108 per year, and it just renews automatically unless you turn it off. All of these renew automatically unless you turn them off. The 2 year option, it comes out to $7 a month, and it's $168 billed annually. The 5 year option, I might have said 3 years earlier, but the 5 year option, it comes out to like $5 a month, but it's $300 billed every 5 years. So you could get this collar for the Tractive Collar for $49.99 on the internet, pay $300 and not have to worry about nothing for 5 years, if you so choose. All right, so the Halo subscription service is very similar to the Tractive in that it's broken up into 2 tiers, and then it has 3 tiers within each tier. So yeah, it's a little complicated, and it's a little more egregious than the Tractive because the Tractive is an affordable collar option, while the Halo is not an affordable collar option. And in order to use the Halo, you have to have the subscription service with it. Otherwise, it's a very expensive paperweight. But the Halo breaks it down into a monthly tier and an annual tier. And within the monthly and annual tier, there's bronze, silver, and gold. Now for the monthly, the bronze plan is $5.99 a month. That's basic, that's what I have. The silver plan is $9.99 a month, and the gold plan is $29.99 a month. Now, I didn't crunch the numbers for the annual plan, but it breaks down monthly to, for the bronze, $5.09 for the bronze plan, $8.49 for the silver plan, and $25.49 for the gold plan. Now those three are billed annually, so you can break out your calculators and multiply it by 12, and there you go.
Now I'm outside here with Aries and Athena, and Aries has got on the Tractive GPS collar. And as we're moving outside of our little home zones, or the Wi-Fi zone, and as you can see on the map, the inner circle with the dotted perforated lines is the Wi-Fi zone. That's, basically telling me how close the collar is to my router. And right now I've got radar on, so unless he's standing right next to me, the closer he gets to me, the inner circle begins to glow blue. All right, so now we're standing outside of the larger circle, which was, purposefully placed there by me so that we could kind of show you how good this thing tracks. And it's got us both well outside of that circle, and we're outside of the Wi-Fi zone. All right, so now I'm outside with the Halo 3 collar. I've got it on my shoulder because I don't want the collars to go off on my dogs because they'll think they're doing something wrong. And I had to shorten up the fence boundaries a little bit so that I could show you how well it tracks with me. And as I'm walking, you can see me moving across the map. Now, Aries is currently wearing the Halo 2 Plus, and Athena has her spot on, and I'll show you that in just a second. But you'll be able to see when I cross the border here, I get an alert, and I'm crossing it right now. And boom, it's lighting up. You can see that on the map it's lighting up, and I can feel it vibrating on my shoulder. And of course on here it says unsafe. We are outside the fence boundary. So that's pretty accurate. As I walked, it crossed, and now I'm gonna walk back so y'all can see me coming back into the zone, and it will stop vibrating on my shoulder, which of course you can't hear, so that's neither here nor there. I'm back inside the virtual fence. And as you can see, there's still an exclamation point there on the line. That's to show me that Aries or Athena did indeed cross the line at one point, and I can check that notification.
Now, both the Tractive and the Halo app have a lot of things going on with them. This is your basic screen you get
at the beginning when you open the app, outside of just a general overlook of your GPS. And there's a lot of information on the home screen, and when you connect to the when you click on the activity tracking, the Tractive keeps track of a whole bunch of stuff. And you can also jump in here and look at profile information. As you can see there, you can pull up the photo. I have Aries as my profile picture, and there's also a lot of categories here for your account. You know, you can check on the status of your Tractive. You can keep up with its battery level, which is generally indicated at the top. There's nothing too extensive, but there's little training guides here and there. You got a bunch of different little modes and what you can look at, and a whole menu of frequently asked questions, and customer support, of course, which will take you directly to the website. And generally just about anything you need as far as activity training and getting a hold of somebody or answering your own little guide questions is here within these menus. It'll just take you a little time to learn the menu. The Halo menu is surprisingly similar. It's got a few, and it's a little more narrow, which is something I don't like, but I'm using an iPad here, so it makes sense. It is what it is. But you got your basic training guides, from basic stuff to more of the premium training options. Now, some of the you'll have access to most of your basic training guides, but as you can see here, some of these you have to have a specific subscription in order to use. But for most of your basic stuff, like lesson 11 there, these video tutorials and whatnot, you'll be able to access without having to have a subscription. You got a whole menu of notification settings that you can look through whenever you need to. You can store multiple collars on here. You've got your beacon, you've got your personal collar, you've got customer service support, and also, like the Tractive app, Halo keeps track of your dog's activities and health things such as sleep and exercise and how long your dog's rested. All of that stuff is accessible within the app, and it's all pretty intuitive and pretty simple to get to whenever you need it. If you've seen any of my previous Halo review videos, then you're probably familiar with this fence and how it works. All you have to do is select add a fence, whether it's your first time or you just want to add a second one. Then you start touching points on the overview. Every time you touch a point, it creates a new fence post and joins it to the one previously. So as you can see here, I just touch one point and then touch a second point, and it draws the line for me. Touch the third point, the fourth point, fifth point, and it completes the entire pentagon in this case. And then you can mess around with the little points, drag them around to where you like, so that you can adjust the size and shape and scope of your fence. And remember, with the Halo, you do need to have around, I would say, probably around as much as the spot on. Half an acre is the best. You can do smaller, but it's more difficult to do keep out zones inside your regular zones if your regular zone is way too small. And whenever you're done, you just name your fence whatever you want to name it. Be sure to keep it different, because you can have multiple fences. There are some similarities between the Halo and the Tractive when it comes to drawing out your fences. You simply, as you can see here, select add a fence, and it will add an extra fence over this fence. And the smallest you can have is a radius of 150 feet from the center. And that's whether you choose to go with a square, or I think it offers a pentagon. It offers a couple of different, or several different shapes here you can toy around with, but only the last shape in the square can you actually manipulate into the exact kind of virtual fencing that you want. Now keep in mind, this does not contain your dog like the Halo does. So whenever you're done drawing your fence, that's going to be the area that your dog can be inside. And I'm just drawing a little bit of an extra fence here. I'm not going to use this one. I'm just giving you an example. But keep in mind, once you're finished drawing your fence out, and you have to have a big one, even if you don't use the circle shape, it's got to be big enough to that the app doesn't get on to you about it. Now, the app will still save it just like it is, but it doesn't like it. But anyway, once you're finished drawing your fence out and you've got everything like you want it, it does not contain your pet. It simply lets you know when your pet steps outside of that boundary, and gives you an alert. And that's when the tracking process starts with the Bluetooth and the GPS and your Wi-Fi zone. And it's fairly accurate system, and it's fairly simple to use. You shouldn't have any problem with it whatsoever.
So now that you've seen both of these collars in action, both in terms of their physical appearance, their bulk, how well they fit on your dog, their GPS functionality, and the real-time display I just put together there for you, as far as the accuracy and the precision of both collars, which one do I personally recommend? Well, the thing is they're so drastically different from each other that it's really going to depend on what you're looking for a collar. Now, obviously, the affordability is an issue. The Halo collar is much, much more expensive. So if all you can afford is the Tractive, then the Tractive is probably the way to go, because at least you get precision, accurate tracking when you need it. Not only that, but it has the Bluetooth radar on there like I showed you, and that Bluetooth radar is what helps you really pinpoint your dog and get in close when and I mean, the filling the circles out, like I said, it's really accurate. So when you get close to your dog, that kicks in. Plus the Tractive collar has a light on it, so if you're hunting your dog down at night, that's going to be really beneficial, because you could just turn the thing on. Now, that's all it's good for. The Tractive does nothing else but track your dog and give you alerts whenever your dog escapes the immediate area. The Halo does a lot more with its active GPS antenna that's built in. And when you see the collar and look on it on the website, it's the Halo 3rd generation. You can see the symbol for the satellite on the side of the collar. That's that active GPS. It's got precision AI GPS. And as you can see demonstrating out here, it's very, very accurate. But not only does it track your dog every bit as good as the Tractive does, it also works to contain your dog. It gives your dog feedback. It gives your dog correction warnings. And you can work with your dog and the Halo collar to teach your dog to stay inside of an area that has no fencing. In my case, I have fencing, but my dogs can jump it, so the collar is still beneficial to me. The Halo also has the activity and health stuff that the Tractive offers. So really what you're getting with the Halo 3 collar is a Tractive plus a for real premium smart collar that does everything all at once. Even here with my heavy tree canopy, I still get excellent signal with the Halo. Plus it comes with a beacon, and the beacon you can use to deactivate collars, or you could put it on your dog's collar, turn it on, it deactivates the Halo, and you could take your dog for a walk. Or you can use it like I do and set it just inside the house, so when the dogs come in, it deactivates their collars. Or you can use it to put it in a shed or inside of a room in your house, and it will serve as a deterrent device, very similar to making a fence outside. Plus the Halo also has the additional keep out zone, and it's a lot more precise because you can draw it smaller. Now with the Tractive, you're stuck on a very, very, I wouldn't say precise, size frame, but you can't go any lower than 150 feet. Anything lower than that, it's not going to work. So it's much more difficult to create a keep out zone with a Tractive, even though you can do it. So ultimately, if you can afford it and you want the absolute best collar for your dog's safety and protection, it's got to be the Halo 3rd generation. If you're just worried about the occasional, your dog getting outside of the front door and hauling butt down the road, and you need a quick, precise collar to track them, kind of like an Apple AirTag, then the Tractive is the much more affordable option, and it's more than robust enough in its activity tracking, its health stuff, and its precision that it will help you find your dog if it goes missing.